Atenção, o programa a seguir foi gravado totalmente em inglês. Para maior comodidade, ative o vídeo.
Welcome to another Tiki-Tátika, a different one. My name is Hugo Zordan, and unfortunately, Leon fucked us all.
Welcome again to another episode, guys. My name is Pedro Leal, and just like Icarus, I think our owner flew too close to the sun.
Okay, very good.
Hi guys, my name's Ian. I'm from England. I'm the biggest Botafogo fan, English fan from England.
Okay, that's very good. Very good, guys. Starting another Tiki-Tátika, another clubs around the world. And this time, different one we're doing in English. So if you're hearing us and you don't speak in English, turn on the video and we have the captions on to you, for you to understand. So let's go, Pedro and Ian. Talk about Crystal Palace, the first clubs around the world with an actual fan from a local team. We're still in England. We talked about Liverpool. We talked about Chelsea, but with Brazilian fans. Now we have a British fan, a London fan, a Londonian about Crystal Palace. We'll talk everything, the history, the present, and the future of Crystal Palace right now. Okay, Ian. I think the first question we have, me and Pedro here, it's how everything started for you as a fan for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, well, it was the age of 10. My dad passed away, so I never had nobody there to look after me, only my mum. And then all my family are Crystal Palace season ticket holders. So they come to me one day when I was 10, took me to football to see Crystal Palace play. And that's how it stuck. I went and saw it, the game. I can't remember what game it was now because it was a long time ago. So I was the age of 10, saw that game, fell in love with it, and I've been going ever since.
It was something that I wish to ask you because we have this feeling of Crystal Palace from Brazil, that Crystal Palace is a small club from London, and but London and other cities of England, they have all the what I think it's called neighborhood clubs, as we have here in Rio some clubs. We have the four major clubs like Botafogo, Fluminense, Vasco, and Flamengo, but we have another minor clubs like Olaria. We have some Cristal. They are very small clubs from Rio, but they are like neighborhood clubs. Is that something that happens with Crystal Palace as well?
Well, not really. No, I don't think we're like that small, but when I first got to know them, they was not bad team. So we've been up and down, really good. Then we've been a bit of a smallish club, but we're not that small. You've got the likes, of course, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham, who are bigger than us. But then I think you've got us just below that because I think we're a little bit higher than like Brentford, because you've got Queen's Park Rangers, Millwall. They're all and Charlton a lot lower than us.
This is our me, myself, and Pedro. What we see about Crystal Palace, but not with of all the Brazilians see about Palace, because Palace, for the truth, it's famous in Brazil because of John Textor and because of Botafogo. This is like the media treats it. But
yeah, that's correct. Yeah. I went on holiday once to Barcelona, and I wore my Crystal Palace top, and I walk around, people looking at me thinking, who's that? I remember that clear as day. That was, before we was in the Premier League. And they're looking at me a bit weird. And there was one person that knew who it was, and was talking about Wilf Zaha. I was just thought, how comes these people don't know about the big Crystal Palace? But of course, when you go abroad, they don't know us, and that's how it is.
And that's okay, right? It's okay for you.
I'm not bothered if people want to. People don't know if we're abroad on holiday and foreign people don't know. That's no problem whatsoever. It's good to talk to them and let them know about Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm. And I think there is a thing that sometimes the recent story of the club can add some value to the tradition of the club. When we think about Palace, I think most people in Brazil know Palace, but they don't know the history of Palace. But when you see, for example, the recent title of FA Cup, I probably can see some people searching about it to understand more about the history of
yeah.
the club. And the same goes with Botafogo. Botafogo is a traditional club when it comes to history, but the recent years were not very, how can I
There
say
aren't
this?
a lot of major trophies that
Yeah,
Botafogo
they were
won.
not very good with us recently, but a recent title in Libertadores, in the Brazilian League, and we start to be seen again. And I have the same feeling of Palace. Everyone knew the club around here, but the people didn't know about the history of it.
And you
It
have
was just like, oh, it's there.
and
Okay,
you have
Cristal Palace.
a lot of smaller clubs like you have Millwall from you have Wimbledon from England, from London, and then they are all smaller and smaller clubs and very traditional as well.
That's correct. Yeah. We like to think Mill was a really small club, and Charlton, because they're our rivals. So we like to think there was a really small club. So
Uh-huh.
I like to say Wimbledon's higher than them.
Very good. So you
Okay,
said
both
your
of the
story.
Wimbledons, right?
Very good. So your story with Palace starts at the age of 10. And let me ask you actually, Ian, what about your idols throughout this phase? Because it's been, as you said, it's been some time. And as well, I don't remember which was the first match I watched. I don't remember exactly about Botafogo. I don't remember the first team. I was too young. I was probably around the age of 6, 7 as well. So very young for me to remember. But throughout this history, tell me a little bit about your idols in the club. Who were they? Why? How did they conquer this position of like being idols of the club?
Yeah, my biggest one was in the 80s was Vince Hilaire. He used to play on the wing, attacking players. He used to play a bit like Will Zaha. So he was always running down the wing, attacking people and setting up goals, scoring. And to me, he was a hero. I always looked up to him and thought, yeah, what a player. And I used to have his number on the back of my shirt. He was really something that I really liked. So from that decade, it was him.
Okay, and what about the most memorable match you remember?
Oh, I think you know what I'm going to say now, don't you? It's got to be the
I
FA
expect
Cup.
something.
Do you know what? It's it was one of the best days ever in my whole entire life. All these years supporting them.
It was the first title of Crystal Palace.
That's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
their first. Yeah. I thought I'd never ever see it in my whole entire life. I thought I'd never ever see the day we go to Wembley, we pick up that FA Cup. And that was just something dreams are made of. And of course, a few months later, we got the Charity Shield as well. So that was nice for us as well to go back to Wembley to see that game and to win that. It
To
was
maintain
just
the top level
yeah,
as
that was
well.
just tremendous. Yeah, against two good teams as well. So I thought I'd never ever see it again in my life. I can die happy because I've seen that. That's all I want. So I've seen it. That's it. I don't care what happens now. I've
Y-
just seen that.
y-
So
you
brilliant.
talked about Wembley. It's like a religious thing playing at Wembley, because we here in Brazil we don't have the one match finals we're going to have in the Brazilian Cup, but there's the Maracanã. It's like a temple of football here, but playing in at Wembley is like playing at a football temple as well. It's like a dream to come true.
Yeah. At Wembley, yeah, you used to really want to see your team play at Wembley, but the thing what knocks it back a little bit is the playoffs. So if you finish say you in the Championship, just below the Premier League,
Yeah.
if you finish 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you play each other, and then the two people go to Wembley
Okay.
to play the winner goes up to the Premier League. So that's knocked it back a little bit going to Wembley because you got the playoffs, playoff finals are there. was a bit, but it's still nice to go there for the FA Cup final. It was just unbelievable. Yeah.
Very good. And thinking about, well, we talked about the most happy day of your life, and for us as well, I believe Hugo shares the same feeling with me. When we won Libertadores, is
Yeah.
probably a feeling that we are never going to feel
Happiest
again.
day of my life.
So intense. Maybe we win again one day, but like to stay with. Botafogo didn't win a very important, a major title since '95. It was about to complete 30 years.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even alive at the time, so I didn't.
I was 1
Even
year
if I
old.
could say, yeah, he was 1 year old. I wasn't even alive, so it didn't count much for us. And when we won that, I remember my brother was next to me. He's the reason why I am a Botafogo supporter. And this is something I was going to ask you later as well about like the families. Usually the teams are a family thing because here in Brazil we have this tradition like if your father supports a team, most likely you're going to support the same team, your brothers
Yeah.
and everyone. But we talked about the best moments. We lived very happily with the recent seasons. What would you say was the lowest moment of Palace throughout the days that you followed it, that you supported it?
Yeah, that's quite hard because, as you know, Crystal Palace, we were in the Premier League. We got demoted. We went back up. We got demoted. We've lost at Wembley in the FA Cup final twice before. We've lost in, all different games. It's quite hard to pick that one. There's a lot of downs for us. It's not
We
just
shared the feeling.
Yeah.
yeah, but not like Manchester City or Chelsea where they can think of perhaps losing in the Champions League final or something. Ours is quite a lot, and I can't really pick one. It's hard, that one. For Crystal Palace, I think most people will be struggling for that one because we've had quite a lot of lows in our life. So
Yeah, we had some moments like this
Yeah.
recently as
We got
well. We've
demoted
been
3
relegated the
times,
most,
yeah.
3 times. And
Uh,
a little bit later from '95, we got to the final of the Brazilian Cup here on Maracanã. It was the last time Maracanã had a crowd over 100,000 people. So it was an incredible day. Rio de Janeiro, our home,
yeah,
against a club from
Yeah.
the south, and we lost it, and it was.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
as I said, I was not
we
alive
lost the
for it.
first match. We lost the first match at Juventude's ground, and then we got a 0-0 at Maracanã. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, I guess
It
I
was-
wasn't even alive, but when I look to the history of the club, I think it would probably be one of the saddest moments we have, because everything was in our side, and yet we didn't conquer it.
yeah. I know.
Mhm.
Yeah, there is when you're not one of the biggest clubs, like we're not. It's hard to pick. It's just we've had a lot of disappointments.
Yeah, it's over 100 years of history. It's
Yeah,
lots of moments.
I should think one of them is like when we nearly went out of business. I think a lot of people would probably say that we was minutes away from going out of business before Steve Parish got us in the lifeline. So we might not have been no club. We was all even thinking we was never going to exist no more. So, but thank God for that. Steve Parish helped us and got us out of administration.
Okay.
Mhm.
And he's the current owner of Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he's one of them. We've got a few Canadians and American as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in a similar situation before John Textor got in because the club, as we said, the recent history of the club was definitely bad. We had 1 or 2 good years in over a decade, so things were going really bad. And we had like a very big debt, one of the biggest debts around Brazil. No income.
They got 3 months for Botafogo to close the doors.
Yeah, we were
like
Yeah.
this.
basically going to stop existing, just like
Yeah.
you mentioned. But the last manager, not coach, the last not owner, because we were not
The president, last president,
the
the
last
chairman.
president of the club. He, thanks God, he wanted to do things right. And with John Textor coming, we had
Yeah.
a place to breathe, to take a big
Yeah.
breath
The
and say,
lifeline,
okay,
like you said. Yes.
yeah, That's
Yeah,
it.
that's good.
And
Yeah.
thank God we got 2 titles.
But we were on the verge of like breaking completely. No players in the second division, in the second, like in the championship over there, but here in Brazil. So we were in a very tough situation,
Yeah.
very delicate.
I think that's most of our lowest is when we was nearly, it was really, really tight before
And
we,
I think it's the one of the best things to cheer for a club like this, because I I know I don't know, to be a fan of Real Madrid, it's like there's no fun in it. Like, you always win.
I need to be honest, back in 2016, I visited Europe and Botafogo was in a decent place. It was not so bad. It was not good either, but it was in between, like in those 7th, 8th position of the championship. But I remember I watched a Barcelona game. I was in Barcelona versus Atlético de Madrid. And Barcelona with that team with Iniesta, with Suarez, with
Messi.
Messi. And I
Yeah,
remember
great.
it was me and my brother and the guy next to us, which I have no clue who it was. I don't even know if he was Spanish. He was seriously mad, complaining about Iniesta. He was complaining a lot, and I was like, please, Iniesta is your problem. Send him to my club. My problem is way bigger than yours. Barcelona beat without a big challenge Atlético de Madrid. The team was incredible, and he was complaining throughout the entire match. And just like Hugo said, like maybe it's not so funny to support those clubs because his biggest problem is it's a walk in the park for me.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's why I love Crystal Palace. Like Botafogo, it's a family club. A lot of people know each other. It's just nice. It's good family.
So Ian, Pedro asked you about your idols of Crystal Palace, and what is the best player that you saw with the Palace shirt?
Oh, now it's got to be some of these. Elise was just tremendous on the ball. Michael Elise, who's gone to Bayern Munich, he was just so good on the ball. Eze, all the current ones are really good. Mark Gay, who we just sold, to me, I think he's one of the best centre backs. At City, he's going to grow and grow even bigger and be a world class one. To me, I think he's world class now, but now it's just so hard to pick because there's so many good fluent players we had them 2 years ago were so good.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
mentioned and recently we recorded the Liverpool episode with a friend here from Brazil, and I saw a message from him really pissed recently because Liverpool made an offer for the same player that just went to City, and he said, "How can Palace sell him to City when Liverpool's offer was better?" I didn't see the numbers. I don't actually know if the
It
offer
was a
was
center
better.
back, right? It was a
Yeah, that was Mark Gahey, yeah, and this was, last year, so, they offered a lot of money for him. Um, I think it was 70 million, and we said no to it.
70 million
Um,
pounds, right? Yeah.
yes, that's correct,
Okay,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
over
and we said no to it because,
half a billion here in Brazil. It's like
oh.
it's almost like this. So Ian, I asked you about the best player that you saw, and what about the worst player that you saw?
That's also a
And I think
tricky.
that you have lots of options there.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Every time me and Hugo would sometimes think about recording an episode about the worst players, the worst
yeah.
team as a whole of Botafogo throughout the history that we watched,
We
and
we,
it's difficult. We
we
can
have
never
an
record
A,
it.
B, and C team.
Yeah, there's just so many bad players that it's difficult to pick one.
Yeah, do you know what? It is hard one. There is quite a lot. And I just can't, my head can't think now at the minute. I'll just think of all the good ones at the minute.
Okay.
'Cause
Just to explain for our audience, the history of Crystal Palace, how it was founded, and the history of the stadium as well. And there is no Crystal Palace as I just know that there's no Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Yeah, but there was a Crystal Palace, right? It's like the story of the club.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you about the story, or?
Yeah. Just talk about a little about the story of the club, the foundation, and the staging, just for
Yeah,
our
it
audience
was.
to know
Yeah, there
the
was
club
like
better.
we was like in a. It was called Crystal Palace because there was a Crystal Palace Park and they had a glass stadium, so all the outside was made of glass. It burnt down, and then they moved from there to the current place. 1905 was when we was established. Some people will say 1861 because somebody gone back to records and said we're 1861, not 1905. But to old people like me, it'd be 1905, not 1861. I think all the youngsters are saying 1861, but I'll just stick with 1905 because that's all I've ever known since. And I think this was about 6 or 7 years ago. Somebody come up with that were 1861,
Okay.
but I'll just stick with 1905 because that's what I've always known as. And of course, we play at the Homesdale Roads. We've got good supporters there called the Fanatics who sing behind the goal. They play the drums. They sing choruses, so it's good there.
You said something that it's interesting. We share a little bit of a coincidence here because in the anthem we sing at Botafogo, the main anthem of the club, the main song of the club, we usually sing that the first title that the team was a champion since 1910. But recently, someone found some documents saying that there was another tournament that Botafogo won in 1907, so it would be 3 years earlier. And some people were like, "Do we change?"
It's a divided
Yeah.
title.
Some people
Fluminense.
said it was a
right.
title between Botafogo and Fluminense. So when was the first championship? Was in 07? Was in 1910? And we don't know which one we sing. Some people sing one, some people sing the other. So it's a little bit of the same thing here. These old papers, they always bring some changes, but I think you should keep the history that you believe, right? Just like you said, Ian, I believed in 1910 for my entire life, so for me it's going to be 1910. I'm not
1910.
changing it. If it's 1907 or 10, I truly don't care. I'll keep mine. I'll believe
Yeah.
in the history that I want because
And who wants a divided title, right?
yeah, who wants
Yeah.
who wants to divide a title? That's it. Like, who was the champion? 2 teams? No,
Yeah.
bear with me here. It's
If
kind
there
of
are 2
impossible.
champions, there's no champion.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So you talked about the owner that literally saved the club from break. How was this purchase of the club, and how it was the moments before this purchase?
Yeah. The moments before it. So before we went into administration, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a chairman there. He spent all his money on Crystal Palace and never had no money left. So it was quite bad. And then it was, I think
It was his own money on the club.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And it was quite bad. Supporters were going out, singing songs, trying to get somebody to pay their money. And we was going protesting, trying to get the club. And it was the last few minutes. No, I think it was the last day. Somebody, parish came in and bought the club. So what saved us from going out?
This was it. Which year?
Oh, I can't remember now, off the top of my head.
But it's like it's the 2000s, like this or older.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was, yeah.
Okay, and then we have to talk about John Textor, right? And he appeared.
Yeah,
If we're not mistaken, he used to own 40% of the club, right? It was something
that's
around that.
correct. Yeah,
He was
yeah.
never the major owner of the
No, he wasn't. No. Steve Parish made sure no one would get more than him. Yeah,
But that turned out to be a problem, right? This season, right? Because of Leon, and Leon broke Botafogo with all the money from trophies and competitions, the World Cup money. just for participating went all to player sales. They all went to Lyon. And when Palace won the FA Cup, you would play the UEFA Europa League. But because of Lyon, you had to play the Conference League, right? So but this is a story we know here in Brazil. We know, and we like Botafogo supporters, we know a bit much from the other for the other people. But how was this? How was this information that Palace wouldn't play in the Europa League? And I think it was the first time that Palace would play in the Europa League, right? And how was this information went to the club and for the supporters?
Yeah, it's the first time it's the first time in Europe, full stop. So Conference League, Europa League, Champions League. We've never ever played in Europe before. So to win the FA Cup, you go into the Europa League. What's a bit higher than Conference League? They're better teams there.
Yeah,
The Conference League, the smaller
prestige,
teams,
right?
Yeah, and you want to play against them, and it gives you more money as well. So you want to see the bigger teams come to you, and then if you win that, you go to the Champions League. So it's something you want to play in. So we was all a bit disappointed by that. We first of all, we was getting told all different information, and it wouldn't come out and tell us exactly what it was. But then we learned it was because of John Textor's shares. He could have put them away for a bit, and then we could have been okay. But it was all just confusing. It was
there was a story that he would sell his part of the club for Palace.
That's why we went to court. Yeah, because we went to court to say, look, his shares are up for sale. He wants to sell. He don't want to stay here, so you can let us in. Why can't you let us play here? But they still wouldn't do it. So we thought it was a bit corrupt, because the owner of Nottingham Forest is friends with the UEFA boss. So we think it's a bit of corruption in it, but that's just what we think. We're not sure.
And Nottingham Forest earned the spot of Palace, right?
No, they never earned. They finished below us. They never earned. Well, they finished above us. Sorry, but they was in the. There was in the Conference League position. So they was in that position. So
And
because
they
we got
went to play the Europa League,
so we got swapped around,
Yeah.
because they put in a complaint about it, because we was trying to fight it in the courts, and they put a complaint in about it as well. And
it's
they were saying why,
right? It's
and they were saying why they should be in it. And like I say, because of their owner, he's a bit corrupt. He's got a football team in Greece, and we've we heard that they're friends with the UEFA boss. So that's how it is, and that's.
And Botafogo as well had a lot of players sell to.
Yeah, we had some shady stories with him as well, because recently the players being sold to Nottingham, we didn't actually have no one ever saw the values. We don't know for how much they were sold.
Right.
It was every source of information would give a different value. We don't know how. We don't know why. Lots of players were sad that they wanted to stay. So why are they leaving? Are they being forced to leave? We had some shady stories with Nottingham as well, but this was one of the most unfair things I've seen recently, because to be honest, I could say that if John Textor was the major owner of the club, I still think it's unfair, because Lyon was the latest one to join the party, so the priority should never been theirs. But still, okay, if it was a major owner, but he wasn't even the major owner, and he was willing to sell his parts of the club way before this happened, before winning the FA Cup, before
saw
everything.
it coming. Everybody saw it coming, right?
Yeah, but it was not only unfair with you guys, but also, as we said, this swap between you and Nottingham and everything, it's all very shady.
And when we first heard that John Textor was buying Botafogo, most of us was happy about it because we thought our Brazilian team, you know, you hear about Brazilian players, some of the best in the world. Their flair is so good. So we was all excited that us and Botafogo were going to be together, and we thought, you know, you'd have some of our players, we'd have some of yours, and we'd help each
And
other
this
out.
never happened, right?
And it never happened. And then all of a sudden, when we get chucked out of the UEFA and go to conference, all of a sudden Textor's selling I think it was three Botafogo players to Nottingham Forest. And we was thought, why didn't we get them? Why didn't we have a look in?
It was
But
like
we never.
Yeah.
the values we had here is like 3 players for about 14 million euros.
No, it wasn't even that high. It was 30 million euros for 3 players, but actually one player that was Igor Jesus, he had the value of 20 something. So the other 2 players were sold for 10,
Yeah,
but actually not. And,
It's
and,
like-
and as you said, it looked like it was for free later because
yeah, but
people were saying that.
this is the values that they shared, right?
Yeah, but it's not
Textor
the
share.
values that Botafogo share. The thing that really messes with us right now is that Botafogo is today a very shady club. They are not clear about anything that happens. We don't know
not
why the
transparent.
players have been sold, how they have been sold. Botafogo stalled a lot, postponed a lot to publish the financial balance of the previous year. So when it was out, it showed a lot of not uncertainties, but a lot of information that were misleading. So everything is very shady. And as you said, those
Mm.
players, they were set to go for a value. Then some people said no, they went for free because the owner of Nottingham is going to put some money in Botafogo because John Textor needs help because he's fighting with ego. And then all this fights with ego football, but John Textor, Botafogo, and everything, Nottingham in the middle. And then the players went there, but the money was never seen. So it was everything still is shady. Botafogo is still in a financial fight with Eagle Football, John Textor as well.
And
We don't get any money, but
Mm.
we are also transfer banned. We get players, but we cannot register them.
We're going
All
to
these
30
things.
days of transfer.
Yeah,
It's
that's the thing. Because the Textor's buying club after club, like,
Mhm.
if it was just Palace and Botafogo, it was all good.
Yeah.
But then he bought the Belgium club, and then he bought Lyon, and you think to yourself, God, how many more is he going to buy? How can he keep it going? He can't.
Yeah,
was a
exactly.
story
How can he keep it going? That's the
there
thing.
was
That's
a
the
story about
question.
Yeah.
buying, I think, Everton. It was like Everton.
Yeah, then we got some speculation that he wanted to buy Everton after leaving Palace, and he even posted some things about Everton. Then no, it's not Everton anymore. It's
Middlesbrough as well.
yeah,
was-
and every month the story
Yeah.
changes, and we never know what's happening.
When he left Crystal Palace, you know, I think every fan was happy. You know, they got rid of him because we could see what he was doing. As soon as he got Leon, that was it. Then we knew there was trouble. We could feel it ourselves. What was happening to us, and we've just wanted him out of the place. We just said we knew what he was about. So when he went, it was good to get rid of him at long last.
And tell me, Ian, as I said, I saw you interacting a lot. I saw a lot of your posts on Twitter about Botafogo, watching our games and everything. So when it started, really, when this partnership started, as you said, you saw it as a very good opportunity for both clubs, right? Because we have lots of good Brazilian players. They could try out their careers. Every Brazilian player today dreams about playing in the Premier League. So it looked like a little bit of a win-win situation. Both sides can have a very great time. We know that it never really happened. The biggest interaction we have was that friendly match that we had back in
That
January.
That was a great day. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
a
a
really
very
good
great
day.
That was
day.
fun, right?
We hoped it would happen more often. Unfortunately, our partnership didn't last long.
Yeah, I was waiting for the return trip, because there were so many Botafogo supporters there, and I went in the pub with them. We was all drinking. Some of them knew me from Twitter, so we was all in there drinking, chatting, and singing. They were singing songs. I was nodding my head because I can't understand what they were singing, but it was good. And then I was with them when they was marching from the pub to the ground. I was with them then, and it was really good atmosphere. And yeah, it was a great day. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have to ask you this because you're the first the first British person to participate in our podcast, and the first foreigner to participate here with us. Thanks a lot, by the way. And what is the ritual of a British fan to watch a football match? Because you talked about the season tickets. That's something we don't have here in Brazil. We don't have a season. We have the I don't know how to say in English.
It would be like a subscription, I
Subscription.
guess.
Yeah,
where you
membership.
Yeah,
yeah,
membership.
that's
That's
it.
right.
That's the name,
Yep.
membership.
We have the membership. We have the membership for all clubs have this membership program, but they don't buy a season ticket, the season pass, right? And how is this little ritual? Because we say about we watch a lot of games of Premier League and FA Cup from ESPN here. We do have a lot of transmissions of matches of Premier League, and then but how is the feeling to you said you went to the pub and then we went to the grounds to watch the game. How is this ritual to just for our ambience to compare with the Brazilian way?
Yeah, so first of all, with the season tickets, you can all buy a season ticket. They got to keep so much percentage by to pay for people with memberships, but there's a certain amount can buy season tickets, so that's their season ticket. They can renew it every year, so they won't lose it. They won't lose that seat. That seat's theirs, so they can keep renewing it every year, and no one will use that seat. If they don't want to support Crystal Palace no more, say Crystal Palace went down to the Championship like done before, some people don't renew their season tickets, so they lose it altogether. So if when Crystal Palace goes up to the Premiership again, then they have to renew it, and they might be in a different seat.
Okay, and
Yeah.
and what is the price, the average price of this season ticket?
It's about £800.
Okay, that's
So
very
for
low.
Crystal Palace, it is. You can get more for the dearer seats, but about £850
Okay.
upwards. So you can get some for £1,200, but that's in different seats. But one of the cheapest is about 800.
And how about like me and Pedro? We are going to London and we are going to watch a Crystal Palace game. We don't have a season ticket. It's like impossible to watch a match without the season ticket, or we can buy like from the tickets. We can buy the tickets as well.
Yeah, if you came from, of course, if you know the Crystal Palace supporters like you two know me, I can easily get you a ticket. So
Okay.
you two have got no problem with that whatsoever. I can
Okay.
get you I can get you a ticket, but usually you can buy a membership, and that's I think what is that? That is £60 a year. So that guarantee that you can get a ticket if you're quick, because they've only got so many. So if you're quick, you can get a ticket. So we get some people, like some Chinese people, come over. I knew one person who bought a membership, and then a day later he bought a ticket because there are tickets on sale still. So he done it like that. He was telling me because he wanted to see a game. But of course, other people can come over and buy it off of ticket touts. So that's who sells it a lot dearer. I used to be security at football games, so I used to work at
Okay.
Brentford. So Brentford Football Club is in the Premiership. Season ticket holders can sell their tickets, and I knew there was some Americans, 4 Americans that paid over £1,000 each for one ticket.
That's
So
that's a very
it's a
low.
hell of a lot. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
hell of a lot of money, but yeah, you can buy it that way. But if you know people,
If you know the
people can get
way,
you tickets.
you can buy
That's
for
yeah. I could
lesser
like
price.
yeah. There was a girl I know. She lives in London, and she said to me, "I haven't seen Crystal Palace for like 20 years. I really want to go and see a game. I want to go and see him play Chelsea. I know somebody that's selling tickets, so I said to her, look, I can get you some tickets. I can get you a ticket. It's going to cost you £60." So she was happy with that. So I got her in contact with somebody I knew, and she got a ticket. So there's no problems about that if you know Crystal Palace supporters. But if you don't know, you have to go to these ticket touts where you're going to have to pay a lot of money.
Usually here in Brazil, when we want to go to a Botafogo match, we go like 3 or 4 hours before the game, ahead of the game, to start drinking. We reunite on the surroundings of the stadium, not exactly inside pubs. We don't go inside pubs because there are not many pubs there. They're more like small, it's not a fair, but small stores just selling the beers for the people outside.
Yeah.
So, and everyone gathered together for like 3-4 hours, and we just go in the stadium 20 minutes before the game is starting and everything. And after that, regardless of winning or not, we leave the stadium. Let's drink a little bit more. After all, we gotta celebrate or we gotta be sad about it drinking. But that's usually our routine when we are going in a football match. We reunite, we stay together before, after it, 1 hour, 2 hours after it, because it's also a little hard to leave at first, lots of people moving around. How is it for you guys over there? It's the same, you reunite before the game, reunite after, it's all inside the stadium? How it works?
Yeah, most people go to the pub first, like you. We go meet in a pub. You go to the pub where you always go, where your friends are and everything, and you'll just go in there, you buy your drinks, and you just sit there chatting about the football, what score you think it's going to be. That's about 3 hours before. And then you sing songs in the pub. Some people do. You eat in there as well, and then you go to the ground, watch the game, come out. Some people go back to the pub. When I was younger, yeah, I used to. Now I just want to get home and cry. But most of the time, it's, when I was younger, I used to go to the pub after, and we used to talk about the game, moan about players, moan about things. So it's near enough the same as you, yeah.
Very good. Yeah, this is something funny because to give a little bit of context, I am an English teacher here in Brazil, and I teach a lot of IT professionals that are willing to work internationally. And every time they end up working for a British company, the biggest link we have is always football. I can always see that we have this very similar culture with football. And this may be a reason why the Premier League is the most famous league here in Brazil that is not the Brazilian league.
And
you know?
we have to talk about it. It's not soccer, it's fucking football.
Yeah, it's football.
100%. I think, that is it.
That's
we don't want none of that. We don't want none of that American rubbish.
Yeah,
where
that's
they
it.
say soccer.
Because here in Brazil, when everybody translated futebol here in Brazil to an English, it's soccer. It's not soccer. It's football.
That's correct. Yes,
and
it
it's
is
very
football.
it's easier. It's easier to translate.
Yeah.
It's the same word.
Football's a thing that puts people together. Like when I go on holiday to a different country, I take my Palace shirts with me and I'll wear them. And the people in the hotel, like the people that work there, they all talk to me. Like in Turkey, they chat to me and we have talk about football. They take the mickey out of me, or used to quite a lot, but they can't now. We won the FA Cup, but they used to take the mickey out of us all the time. We used to have, it used to be good. Football's what everybody likes, it's gets everybody
magical.
talking. Yeah, you can talk non-stop about football the whole day, where other topics you can't, you stop after a while, but football you can just go on and on and on. It's a great sport, yeah.
And you talked about the pub reality of the experience of the pubs in London, and we Brazilians love the series Ted Lasso, and for those who doesn't know, Richmond is Crystal Palace, right? it was filmed at Crystal Palace grounds, right?
Yeah, some of it was filmed at Crystal Palace, some of it was filmed somewhere else, but it was some
It's
of
the
it was
same
filmed
colors,
there.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we love it. Yeah, it's I bought one of their shirts as well because it's red and blue. So I bought one of their shirts. I always think Ted Lasso's a Crystal Palace supporter, and that's the way I think about it.
Yeah. I have one last question before we move to the future of the club, Ian. It's like, as I said, it's for us it's easy to watch a Crystal Palace match at home via internet, via TV. And how do you watch Botafogo or other Brazilian clubs matches from England? It's like is it difficult? Is it's can you tell a little bit about it?
Yeah. Well, I can. It is very difficult.
Okay.
You have to do it in a way that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I guess
okay.
so.
But
We all went
I,
down there.
as you know by my Twitter pages, I've watched, I've watched Botafogo, loads of Botafogo games live. I've got up at 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it. I think I've got one up at 3 o'clock in the morning once to watch
Okay.
watch Botafogo.
So you don't have an official broadcast of Brazilian leagues,
No.
and
Definitely.
is it the commentary? Is it in Portuguese?
Yes, yeah, I've got to
Okay.
listen to it. Yeah, so I have the sound right.
I think it's very difficult for you to watch a game, right?
Yeah, I don't understand what they're saying, but I have it turned down a little bit. But I like to hear the crowd. So if it's exciting game and the crowds are going, it's good to hear the crowd, and I forget about what the commentators say. So
It gets easier because it's the best crowd, right?
that's 100%. The year they won that league,
Yeah,
it was.
that was
You could
magical,
hear
man.
that. You could hear it all, the singing, everything, and it was good. And you never had to listen to the commentary. You could just hear the crowd and watch the game, and it was good to hear. Yeah.
Okay, Ian, let's. Crystal Palace won the FA Cup and won the Community Shield. I think it's called like this. It's like the Super Cup of England. What's the future of the club right now?
Yeah,
What
well,
do you
Expect from
what do you
it.
expect? Yeah.
Well, at the minute, we don't expect a lot because Ole Glasner, who's a great manager, he's going to leave us at the end of the season. I don't know if you heard his comments, but um, he was really moaning about the board, about not getting the money, not getting players in right, not getting them in early. And we all agree with him. It's 100%. He's the best manager we've ever had. You can see the way he gets the players to play. He can get a bad player and make him look good. And that's Oliver Glasner, a great manager. And he'll go to a better team than us next season. But it's a shame because you just wish Steve Parish would have bought the players, because Oliver Glasner would have stayed if we'd have spent money on players. But because he's going to go at the end of the season, and Mark Gahey's gone, we're on about Jean-Philippe Mateta might go. We've got Adam Walton in midfield, who's a great player.
I think it's something that happened with Leicester as well, or when they won the league, right? They couldn't hold the manager, they couldn't hold the players, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and they never brought the right players in, and then they went down. I don't think we'll go down, but we're not going to be as good as we are now. Steve Parish has missed that opportunity to keep Glasner, who's absolutely brilliant manager. And I just cannot see what we're going to do next season. We're not going to have I don't think I'll never see a season like we had last year.
But
Um,
it's not something to worry about, like relegation, not anything like this, right? It's just middle of the table, right? And
Yeah, I think we could keep finishing middle of the table like we used to do.
okay,
Yeah, we don't want that. We want to improve. We want to be in Europe. We want to fight for trophies, but I can't see it happening because this Oliver Glasner's again. I don't know who we're going to get as manager to replace him. They've not said nothing yet. There's a
okay,
few whispers going around. We're hearing we're hearing Gareth Southgate because he used to play for us and he was the England manager, so we're hearing
it's a
about
big
him.
name.
Yeah. A few supporters don't want him to come, but because of his type of football he plays. But he used to play for us years ago, and he was our captain long time ago. So he might come. We just don't know yet. It's just not good times for us at the minute. I think we've not won a game in 11 games, I think it is now. So we are struggling now. We've got players injured. We've got Sarr, who went over to AFCON. He's coming back. Munoz, who's a really great player. He's coming back, so we've got some players coming back. But of course, next season, Mateta might go, Walton might go, so our top players will go, and then we just can't see what's going to happen. It's just not good times for Crystal Palace, we don't think, next season onwards.
But it was worth it, right? The titles.
Oh, do you know what? You know, like, we're in this Conference League, and a lot of supporters were moaning about it. But the older people, like me and some others, were just saying, "Look, just don't care what league we're in. If it's the Conference
Cherish,
League or
right?
the Europa League,
Yeah.
we're in Europe. Let's just we're in Europe. Let's just enjoy it." And with the FA Cup and Charity Shield will always be in my mind till the day I die. I'll never forget that day. It's a great day. So we've been there. We've won that now. We've won our game.
Yeah, Nia, you talked about the minor rivals. It was Charlton and Millwall, right? And is there other rivals of Palace in the Premier League or in the Championship as well?
Yeah, well, we haven't played Charlton and Millwall. We played Millwall in the cup, but we'll always beat them because they are like nowhere near as good as us. I
Yeah.
just want to get that in. Hopefully, Millwall supporters listening to this,
Okay.
but they're nowhere. They're South London like us, and they're never going to be better than us ever. Charlton they're doomed. So they're South London. They're not going to be nowhere like us.
Yeah, because
Our-
London is a massive city, a massive. There are lots and lots and lots of clubs in London, based in London, and these two are the biggest rivals, the fiercest rivals of Palace, right? And what about the other teams of London? Like you said, Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, Fulham as well. Do you treat them as rivals or just like big matches from the
Yeah, we
same
just treat
city?
them as, it's another game. All we
Okay.
do. It's a London derby, but it's another game. Yeah, that's all we treat them as now.
So Charlton and Millwall are derbies, real derbies.
Charlton and Millwall are our derby games, and then we got Brighton, who's
Yeah,
our
Brighton. Yeah,
Brighton is rivals. There's always trouble there, and we don't like
yeah.
each other.
And they are not from London. They are from Brighton, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just down the road from Palace, but it was about 56 miles, 58 miles. So it's just over an hour to get there.
Okay.
But in the car. But yeah, they're our rivals since the 70s. And we don't like them, they don't like us. We hope they lose, they hope us. So that's how it is with them.
Okay.
And as to in the Premier
and
League.
The seagull thing with Brighton is from Palace, right?
That's correct. Yeah, they used to be called the Dolphins, but
Yeah.
they changed it to Seagulls because we're Eagles, and they wanted to change. So yeah, they look up to us.
Yeah.
They're not as good as us
They
either.
misheard it, right? The Eagles for seagulls, right? It was
That is
something like this.
correct.
Yeah.
But
I read this story 2 weeks earlier, and I remember it now.
Yeah, and I just want to say that they've never won the FA Cup.
Okay.
That's
important.
That's a shame.
That is the main thing. So they've never won the FA Cup, and we keep that rubbing their noses in it. Like on Twitter, they put something about us because they say, "Oh, it's the downfall now of Crystal Palace," and I'll put a picture of Crystal Palace holding the FA Cup. So, and I'll say, "You've never won this." So it's
Okay.
it's a little bit of a rivalry with Nottingham Forest because of what they've done to us with this.
Yeah. It's a new rivalry.
Yeah, this is just a new one that's just happened. It's not like like on social media they say stuff about us, we'll say stuff about them. So it's not great with them. So there's a little bit of not as big a rivalry like as Brighton, but there's a little bit of a one with supporters with them. Yeah,
It was very, very messy. It was shady and
yeah.
First to finish, tell a message to our audience, our Brazilian audience, and where can they find you online?
Yeah, they can find me on. First of all, they can find me on. I think it's called X now, isn't it? I keep saying
Yeah.
Twitter, but it's
Yeah,
X.
me too.
Yeah, Twitter.
So, so whatever you call it, X or
Twitter.
Twitter, I call it Twitter all the time. So, you can find me on there, CPFC Ian. I've got over 2,000 Brazilians that follow me now, and it's good of
Nice.
them. So, I've private messages from them, chatting to me and chatting to them, and I always say to them, if you want me to get you a ticket, I can get you a ticket for a Crystal Palace game. It's no problem. I can put you in contact. It's good. So I'm mostly on there. So what I like to say to him is, I wish that Textor just had us and Botafogo and Palace together. Then we could have been a great family together.
Yeah.
But in my cupboard, I've got the Botafogo shirt in there, so I'll still keep buying it, and I'll still be looking out for their stores, hoping they win.
And due to the present time of both our clubs, we wish Textor owns our rivals, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like
Well,
this.
correct, 100%. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
He can buy Millwall, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Goodbye will mess them up. Yeah, like he's done everybody else.
Okay.
very good. Well, thank you again, Ian. It's good to know that we have some supporters over there. We also, I think, all Botafogo fans started caring a little bit more about Palace and everything. We started watching it a little bit more. It's hard for some to say like, I'm a supporter, because some people only have this feeling for one club. But even if you are not like the passionate about the club, I think every Botafogo supporter
Yeah.
started liking a little bit more about Palace, about everything.
It's like
So
a distant cousin, right?
yeah,
That's
that's
correct,
it.
yeah.
It feels like, I would say, a distant brother. It's like we are not in the same league. We don't live the same context anymore. Still, we know there's a connection there.
But if there's a game passing by, we will watch it. It's
Of
like
course,
this.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I always look out for Botafogo's result. I've not seen a game for a while yet this season, because I've
You're not
had
losing
quite a lot.
anything, right? Like this.
I've had quite a lot of things to do lately, so
Yeah.
I've not had a chance to. And look, I can't get up at 1 o'clock in the morning a lot at the minute.
Yeah, it's
But
difficult.
but I always look out for the results. I've got them on Twitter still. I follow people on Twitter. I still listen to what they say. Yeah, so I'm always there because, like you said, it's a long distant relative. And you'll always be looking out for them. Like, I'll
Yeah.
always be looking out for Botafogo. I hope Botafogo will be looking out for Palace. When you get rid of John Textor, then that'd be
Yeah.
that'd be
We
good
can
for
thrive. We can thrive.
Very
Okay,
good.
and thank you very much again for your participation here. Everybody follow Ian, and thank you very much, and make Palace win another FA Cup or the Conference League is maybe right. Who
you.
knows?
I'd love to win the Yeah, if we win the Conference League, we're in the playoffs at the minute. What we
Yeah.
shouldn't have done, but we're there. But if we win that, yeah, it'd be great. That'd be a great. Another good game to go to. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay,
Make
yeah.
greater times come from our teams again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
100%.
amen.
Yeah. Hope both teams do well and back up there again.
Muito bem, Pedro, vamos para os nossos recados e comentários do último Tiki-Tática. E antes eu queria falar, Pedro, pro pessoal comentar mais, porque estamos com poucos comentários. Mas temos que dizer também que esse Tiki-Tática é o 4º maior visto da história do programa já. Esse último que gravamos, o primeiro em vídeo das previsões de 2026.
O 4º mais visto
O 4º mais visto.
até agora.
Isso, perfeito, perfeito. Vamos postar então comentários do Tiki-Tática número 27. Briga pra cair 2026.
E só para lembrar vocês que vocês podem comentar em todas as plataformas. Vocês podem mandar na nossa DM no Instagram, comentar nos posts do Instagram, no TikTok, quando a gente comenta sobre o podcast, no YouTube, no Spotify. Qualquer plataforma, todas elas têm modo de comentário. Você pode falar com a gente para aparecer aqui no programa.
É isso. E compartilhe o Tiki-Tática com sua família, com seus amigos, com o seu cônjuge ou sua cônjuge, seu papagaio, que ele também fala e escuta. Vamos lá, o Guedão mandou lá no YouTube, como sempre, né? Nosso fã número 1. Inclusive foi aniversário dele semana passada. Parabéns ao Guedão aí. Ele mandou petição para a criação da organizada do Corinthians, Pombos da Fiel, em homenagem a esse ícone. Nós
Cara,
tivemos o Gavião Pombo aqui, né?
seria perfeito. Temos o Gavião Pombo, temos o Gaviões da Fiel, podemos ter o Gavião Pombo
Será
da
que ele
Fiel.
diz, porra, Pombo, por favor, desfile no Carnaval de São Paulo com a máscara do Pombo. Pela Gaviões. Por favor. É isso. Aí eu queria mudar minha previsão do Botafogo, que eu acho que diga pra cair, tá, Pedro?
Um dia de cada vez, Zordan, um dia de cada vez.
Rapaz, tá difícil, tá muito difícil, tá muito difícil. É isso. Acabou o Tiki-Tática. Se você gostou do Tiki-Tática in English, Speak in English, rodou o programa inteiro. Se você gostou, então dá aquele like, tem que aproveitar, dar o like e também dar o rate no Spotify de 5 estrelas pra gente e compartilhar para um maior número de pessoas. É isso. Até o próximo programa. É isso, Pedro.
Um abraço.
Um abraço.
A hug.
A hug. A hug. From the Tática Tiki. É isso.
Uhum.
Valeu.